looking to shoot at the post. 18 minutes scored. Looking free for Canucks.
Hey, Canucks Nation. Brandon Alster here, play-by-play for the Edmonton Canucks. You got it locked in the Line Change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast.
What's up, Canuck fans? Welcome to the Line Change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast, which is a presentation of DraftKings Sportsbook, as well as a proud member of the Hockey Podcast Network. What's up, everybody? We're going to get into it. Just a fair warning, I did not watch this game. I just maybe about an hour ago got home from work, so I unfortunately missed this game, but we're still going to break it down. And we're going to have, obviously, Gerald on as well. But let's go ahead and just dive right into the goals. All right, so there was no goals in the first period, no scoring for either side. But to start things off, Jack Eichel with his 20th of the season. He seems to be a bit of a Canuck killer whenever the Canucks play the Golden Knights. At 5:09, assisted by Rasmus Andersson, his 23rd of the assist of the season, and Mark Stone to make it 1-0 Vegas. And then Cole Reinhardt would make it 2-0 Vegas at 6:34. So about a minute later to make it 2-0 Vegas already, assisted by Bowman and Shea Theodore. And then Elias Pettersson would score his second of the season to make it 2-1 at 7:11. Assisted by Liam Ogren and Teddy Bluger. So once again, Teddy Bluger up in that draft value with yet another point. And we'll get to him a little bit later. Ivan Barbashev would score his 16th to make it 3-1 at 7:39. So another about less than a minute later, Vegas would add on to their lead, assisted by Stone and Eichel. And then P.O. Joseph with his first of the season, and I believe that was his first as a Canuck as well, at 19:51 of the second period, assisted by Connor Garland, and once again, Teddy Bluger. Moving on to the third period, Pavel Dorofeyev would score his 25th of the season at 2:31 of the third period to make it 4-2, assisted by Mitch Marner, and then Alexander Holtz would score his third of the season at 3:31 of the third period to make it 5-2 for the Vegas Golden Knights, assisted by Kolasar and Jeremy Lauzon. Let's quickly take a look at the game stats here real quick. 31 shots on goal for the Vegas Golden Knights, 23 for the Vancouver Canucks. Face-off percentage, the Canucks were a 50.9%, and Vegas was a 49.1% with 28 out of 57. Canucks 29 out of 57. So only a single face-off between that separated the two. Both teams were 0 for 1 on the power play, each with a penalty, 2 minutes in penalties. 21 hits for the Vancouver Canucks, 18 hits for the Vegas Golden Knights, 10 block shots for the Golden Knights, 9 for the Vancouver Canucks, 19 giveaways for the Canucks, 20 for the Golden Knights, and then 5 takeaways each. Now let's take a look at the forwards here real quick and just check out their ice time and their performance. Connor Garland, of course, with an assist. That is obviously nice to see. Getting another point in back-to-back games. I know it's just a single assist, but it's still good to see, especially considering Garland was apparently missed the morning skate on, I believe it was Tuesday, or the practice on Tuesday, due to feeling under the weather. So it's nice to see him collect a point. And he had 18 minutes of ice time with 3 shots, 1 block, and 1 hit. And then you had Drew O'Connor with 16 minutes and I'm still not used to that. Got me again. Anyway, yeah, Doc, 60 minutes and 8 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 2 hits. Jonathan Lekaramaki was a -1 with 12 minutes and 57 seconds of ice time and 2 hits. Elias Pettersson was, nowhere to be seen. 15 minutes and 40 seconds of ice time, 2 shots, so I guess he was somewhere. Teddy Bluger, 2 assists, a +1, 17 minutes and 7 seconds of ice time, 2 shots on goal, 2 hits. And like I said, he's up in that trade value, baby. Maybe we'll get a Panarin deal for Teddy Bluger. Who knows? Atu Ratu was a -1, 12 minutes and 1 second of ice time, 1 shot, 1 block, 1 hit. Max Sasson was a -1 with 12 minutes and 22 seconds of ice time, 2 hits. David Camp was a -3, yikes, 15 minutes and 11 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 1 block, 1 hit. Jake DeBrusk was a -3 as well, 12 minutes and 58 seconds of ice time, 2 shots. Evander Kane, not zeros across the board, 16 minutes and 31 seconds of ice time, 1 shot, 1 block, 1 hit. Liam Ogren, my new favorite Canuck, 1 assist, was a +1, 17 minutes and 21 seconds, 3 shots on goal, 2 hits. And then Linus Karlsson was a -3 with 13 minutes and 46 seconds of ice time with 1 shot and 2 hits. Let's take a look at the defensemen. Tom Verlander was a -1, 20 minutes and 11 seconds of ice time. So lots of ice time for Tom Verlander. 1 shot. P.O. Joseph, we mentioned, had the goal, was a -1, 15 minutes and 6 seconds of ice time with 2 shots and two giveaways. But Philip Hronek was a -1, 17 minutes and 6 seconds of ice time. So his ice time's a little bit down than usual. 1 block, 1 hit. DPD with a goal, a -1, and he had an ice time of 21 minutes and 41 seconds. 2 shots, 3 blocks, 2 hits. Marcus Pettersson was a -1, shocker. 23 minutes and 6 seconds, 1 shot, 1 hit. And then Tyler Myers was a -1 with 20 minutes and 48 seconds of ice time with 1 block, 1 hit. And then moving to the goalies. Now, I'm going to rant here a second.
I already knew before you even got to this post game, because I watched the game and I saw the goalies and I was like, man, Tyler's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, 26
please,
saves.
go ahead.
On 31. Yeah, 26 saves on 31 shots, 5 goals allowed, a .839 save percentage, and I just gotta say, what the fuck is Adam Foote thinking? Playing Lankinen over Tolopilo. How many goals now has Lankinen let in the last 3 games? What are we up to, 15 now? Geez.
It's actually 16.
16. Close enough,
So
but still 16.
It was 5-6-5 in the last 3 games.
And he still put him in. Ridiculous.
Well, he's a starter, bro. What do you expect, man? I understand where you're coming from. You're wanting to play the young guys, but at the same time, you have Tankin in here. We have to play him. That's the point. And
I get that part, but it's just give Tolopilo a chance. And actually, I forget who it was, but I saw it on X. Someone mentioned, remember how it's the mom's trip?
Yeah.
Tolipilo's mom didn't get to see her son play, so that kind of sucks.
Was Tolipilo's mom even there though?
I mean, all the moms were apparently there, so that's kind of
Mancini's mom wasn't there.
I don't know.
And Mancini was up.
I saw it on X. Someone mentioned it, so I was like, "Huh, interesting." But yeah, I'm a big Tolopilo guy, and I just thought, with Lankinen getting the last game, they should have, like what you and I talked about, rested Lankinen for the Olympics. But I guess Foote decided to go with.
But at the same time,
16 goals.
I was wrong, and I have to admit it, because I thought the players are going right away and they'd start soon. But they actually don't start until next week. So, they have time to fly over, get adjusted, and all of that. So to have Lankinen play, it's not out of the question. And secondly, there's teams in the East that are still playing tomorrow. So the Canucks are just done a day early. And it comes back to, come on, Ty, your team tank. How do you expect to have Tolo play if are you looking for a win, or what are you looking for when Tolo plays?
Not necessarily a win, especially against a team like Vegas. I just want to see him play. That's all. you know.
Okay. He'll get his chances, man. It'll just be next year.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, if they keep him around because of the whole waiver exempt thing coming this summer, that's why I'm so hot about this.
Well, maybe it's a good thing they don't play him, because if they play his value up, then they'll lose him. Maybe look at
True.
it from that point of view, right?
Very true.
Like Seelovs had AHL. Like Tolo stuck up here. He doesn't get to showcase his stuff in the AHL, and then he comes up here and plays a few games. You know, I mean, if you look back at Seelovs, he had a terrible showing up in the big leagues, but he played very well in the AHL, and that's why he got that pick that he got. Well, a pick and a player, but still, if you look at Tolo, the way they're deploying it, maybe there's a reason behind it. It's just stuff that we don't understand, right?
Yeah, very, very true. Sorry, I'm just like full on the Tolopilo train. I just love how he plays. I think Quads actually said it perfectly. Actually, I was talking to my boss at work today about it. Tolopilo reminds me of Demko, just the way he plays. He's not flopping around like a fish, like Lankinen has been lately, or swimming around. He's plays deeper in his net, and I just love that Tolipilo's a big body too. Like he's what, 6'6"?
Yeah.
And yeah, I just think he plays really well, and I just want to see him, get more and more reps. And we all know, and this might be a part of it too. Guys, remember when Tocchet was still here and, Demko was out injured and they were playing Lankinen like crazy and he kind of ran out of steam.
Yeah.
I just don't want them to do that again. And would hope that they would.
They already have. They
No.
already have, so it's too late for that. I mean, this season, to be very honest, is like an anomaly. Like it's like no one expected it, and what I've been harping, just let it happen naturally, just organically, and I mean, just believe in the tank master, and tank it in, and we'll go from there. But one thing that I actually worry about, and I actually brought this up on Clay's stream earlier, is I worry about getting last in the league, bottoming out, and not winning the first overall pick. Mm-hmm. Like it feels like I need to. I actually will go look at the stats and see since they changed the rules with the lottery. I think it was 20. It's been almost 10 years. How many bottom teams have actually got the first overall? Because it seems like someone jumps up either way. There has to be someone that jumps up, and you know what? Being last it gives you that higher percentage in terms of the balls that are drawn, but at the same time, it feels unlikely that that team wins. Mm-hmm. Like it's a higher chance that they don't win. So that's why. Sorry, I said I would end it last stream, but the reason why I wasn't full on tank is mainly for this reason. And by the end of the season, when the lottery comes out and whatever pick you get, you'll understand why I was saying I'm not team tank. It's because, it's easy for Bettman not to give you that first overall pick, especially if the rumors out there are true and Bettman doesn't like Aquaman. There are ways around it. And look at come on, man. Islanders were how many points out of a playoff spot and they won first overall? Like it's ridiculous. So why bother tanking? Like the reason why they changed the rules is it defers teams to tank and get first overall. Mm-hmm. That was why the initial rules were changed. So when everyone was jumping on team tank, I'm like, yo, there's rules there. That's why the percentages changed and everyone's on team tank. Like there's no point. Just let it play out. And I know like Canucks luck, we never get, you know, we don't end up getting that pick that we get anyways. Like look at when we're I think we were third. We ended up dropping to fifth. Like that's what it seems like. That's what it seems like is gonna happen. But all of you are also saying, like I know Justin Credible also said, Witt has also said, at least that guarantees you top 3.
Mhm.
So fine, I'll give that to you. But still, like, what if you ended up being 5th worst, and that 5th worst position got you the 1st overall? Then what would you say? Like, what was the point of like tanking all those games? But it is what it is, and just getting back to the whole Lankinen thing and how Foot's playing Lankinen. Maybe he needs his rep before the Olympics because he's actually going to the Olympics and Tolo isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Lankinen's like, I want to play. Like I need to get more reps. I need to condition a little bit more, and that's the reason why. So I don't necessarily think you need to get all riled up about like why was Tolo not played. There are those reasons, right? There's different intangibles that are out there and factors, and it's fine. Just take 2 weeks off, go watch the Olympics, and you know when they come back in a couple weeks, you'll see Tolo.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I do know that they sent him down to Abbotsford, so at least he's going to be playing. I am happy about that, and it looks like they sent a bunch of people down to Abbey. Actually, I think I looked at it. I think I looked at it.
Send a lot more people.
Yeah, I think I looked at it prior to me coming on.
Let me go find that out while you do your thing.
Yeah, I was just going to look at that myself. Yeah, so Lekaramaki, Mancini, and Tolopilo went down.
Okay.
And then they called Patera up. Just probably because they have to switch out a goalie. So that's probably the only reason why Patera got called up. So it's good to
Patera's
see.
known.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean Patera. That's why he is. That's why he was signed. He's there to. He's like a stopgap of some sort. So.
Mm-hmm.
But what doesn't make sense to me, and I need to rant, is why the hell did they have Mancini up here this whole time, not playing in Abbey, and just sitting in the press box and not getting reps, and then now they send him down? Like that's what doesn't make sense to me. Like Tolo is the backup goalie, so there's a reason for him to be up here. Mm-hmm. But Mancini had no reason to be up here and just sitting in the goddamn press box. And he actually took Garland's spot on the wing at practice.
Yeah, I saw that.
You just need an extra body? You could use anyone, bro. Like that's what's messed up about. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm gonna tell myself the same advice I told you. Maybe there's things that we don't know, mm-hmm. or they're just stupid. Who knows? But yeah.
I did want to. I mean, again, I didn't watch any of this game, unfortunately, but I wanted to point out Ogren, because I don't know if anyone saw my video earlier today where I basically talked about Ogren and how we kind of committed some Grand Theft Ogren on the Minnesota Wild, and we essentially stole him. He's, I mentioned how so far this season with Minnesota, no points in 18 games or whatever, and he's already got 8. I know it's 8, and he's already got, I guess now 9 in 26 games with the Canucks now. So that just shows you that his deployment is obviously a lot better since he was traded. He was obviously playing 4th line minutes in Minnesota. And
he's still playing 4th line minutes here.
Yeah. But he's at least producing even in a 4th line role.
I think it has to do with the chemistry, and it has to do with, I think he just wasn't happy in Minnesota. So You know, coming over here, you have Lekkerimäki and you have like DPD, you have Swedes. It changes a person, right? Like he said, I think during one of his first interviews, he was saying that, no, it's nice that there's Swedes on this team and he can speak Swedish. Like that's what he was happy about, because at least there's a bit of home here, as opposed to when he's out in the cold by himself. Like, who else is he going to go talk to? Like, you see that interview that DPD was doing, I think earlier, I don't know, last week with the stick, and Ogren had the stick out. The kid's having fun. If you're having fun, if you're happy, obviously you're going to be producing. So that's the difference between being here and being in Minnesota. Look at Quinn, for God's sakes. Quinn's on a tear. He's gone, I don't even know how many games now with at least an assist. And you see that smile on his face because he's playing with players that actually can play. So change of scenery does do a lot of things. It does wonders for players. And I think, that's why people are high on some players that aren't producing on some teams, i.e. like PD or even Garland. Like, once mentally, like, I've been a huge advocate for mental health, and I've said it before, right? If mentally you're there, everything will work through. But if something's bothering you, obviously not everything will click. So with Garland, last game I loved it. Like he was everywhere playing and all that. Maybe something happened, but obviously ever since Quinn left, he hasn't produced. It's 13 games without a point. So hopefully this Olympic stretch changes things for the better for a lot of the players, especially the veterans. Maybe up their value a little bit before the trade deadline, and we get some decent picks back, but and maybe even win some games. Like, I'm saying win some games because who knows? Maybe if St. Louis starts losing and we get second last, maybe we don't drop as hard. Like, maybe we'll jump up to first instead of going down to third, or going, like, you know what I mean? Like, just play the way you're supposed to play. Let the kids play. Stop bringing Mancini up here and not playing him. Like, at least give him some reps and let the kids play. Let Lekkerimäki play. Don't bench him in the third, and don't bench him in overtime. And, like, just this is the best time for your kids to start playing and gelling and meshing and getting chemistry and all of that. And if you have someone like Ogren who's happy to be here and he's having fun, he'll produce. Maybe that'll rub off on other players. And, if you get some wins, team morale's up. I'm not saying like they should win all the way up to, 5 spots out, but I'm just saying maybe win a couple games here and there.
Yeah, definitely. I do like even, we were talking about too, like how he's shown a lot of power. Like, people look at him, they don't really see a quote unquote power forward, but he's added power to his game since he came over. And I just think that's great that we've seen that. He's adapting.
No, but the speed, like, the speed has always been there.
Yeah. But now he's added that power to it on top of that speed, which is, like I said, it's great. And I'm just full on 100% in on Ogren. Like I said, I want his jersey. Because I figure he ain't going anywhere
even more so
soon.
than the one behind you. Even more so than the one behind you. That's
tough. That's a tough one, because that's my pride and joy right there. But I'm just so impressed with, and I mentioned it in the video. We all thought, Zeke William, is like the centerpiece in that trade. Because of his age and his potential. But seem out of the three, Ogren's been like had the most production out of the three of them. Something not a lot of people foresaw.
Well, there's two people that are injured anyways, but Rain, we got Rain in the house, big brain Rain. Apparently I'm giving Canucks management the PR that they're looking for. I'm just being positive. Like, I'm just trying to be positive, and I'm just trying to let the fans, like, I'm trying to sell the hope, right? I'm trying to sell you guys, like, you don't need to give up on the team. And, you know, losses come, losses go, maybe get a few wins here and there. But, you know, it was a good trade. It was a win-win for both sides. Kind of unlike, but, you know, I mean, unlike the one that, you know, Duolingo kind of is talking about, I think, bro, like, the Rangers got fleeced today. Like, it's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Like, they
That
were
That blows my mind.
They were pretty much like handcuffed, and the only sort of team that they could deal with were the Kings, and that's why it was a second and what was it? Sorry, it was a second and a third, right? No, it was a third and a fourth.
A third and a fourth. Yeah.
Yeah,
But the fourth is
and the
like
third becomes
on
a second.
condition.
Yeah, the third becomes a second if they pass the first round or the second round, and the fourth becomes something else if I don't even remember the conditions. See, that is where you go for the nitty gritty. Like, if the Quinn Hughes trade was similar, you had these conditions. Like, if Quinn Hughes resigns, this pick becomes something else. That's what I was looking for. I mean, the trade is fine. I just said it was a win-win, and I meant it, because you got Ogren that's turned out well. You got Z Bruin, who's also a first-round pick. You got Rossi. Rossi was a first-round pick, and you also got the first-round pick to this year. So pretty much 4 first-round picks for Quinn Hughes, and you have Panarin, who obviously is on the back nine. Only got a third and a fourth, and some prospect. So, yeah, I would say, you know, it's fine. I would have rather had a player like Ogren that was thrown in, as opposed to hypothetically like maybe a third that became a second or something like that. You actually legitimately got 4 firsts. So I'm okay with the trade right now, even though Quinn Hughes is tearing it up, you know, getting wild records, like Minnesota Wild records now.
Yeah,
I think
already.
It was 3 or 4 assists per game. How many games? I think he already has like 3 or 4, and it's only been what, like 20 games or so. So yeah, but these conditional picks are what I've always looked for, and these are the conditional picks that I've been, you know, harping about. And Rangers are doing it. Why didn't the Canucks do it? That's why I was kind of pissed when the trade came down. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess we can talk a little bit about that Panarin deal, because that's I saw that earlier today while I was at work, and I was like, actually no, that was 4. I actually went into work, and I was floored. I was like, Panarin got just that, and it's.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Panarin's older, or he's gotten older, but still, you would have thought he would have fetched more than that. And then obviously, you know, more stuff came out, you know, how Panarin only wanted to go to the Kings. So the Rangers had to basically let him go, just to, you know, get rid of him. And on top of that, they retained 50% of his salary too. Now, I originally thought it was LA who retained 50%, but it's actually the Rangers, not LA. I don't know why someone mixed that up. But
LA can't retain the salary if he's going to LA, right? So it's only the team that's sending him out can retain. But yeah, like, it just, I don't know, man. Like, they should have also done a condition where if Panarin extends, one of the picks gets upped, because he actually extended for 2 years for $11 million. So, bro, like, you lost another pick.
But then,
Like it's,
within like what?
or maybe that
half
was
an
what
hour?
was already discussed. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that was discussed. Like maybe a deal was already actually on the table before, so they didn't need to do the condition. They knew that he was going to extend there, and that's the deal. Or else it would have been worse, knowing that
Yeah.
they couldn't extend him. It could have been like a fifth, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that they got the extension done so fast. I'm not surprised at all. But I'm a little surprised that it only be in 2 years. But at the same time, like we mentioned, Panarin's getting up there in age. So,
Bro, do you know how old Panarin is?
isn't he early to mid 30s?
You realize Panarin's 34?
Ooh. Damn.
Panarin's 34, and next year in October he turns 35. So by the end of his contract, he'll be 37.
Wow. He doesn't look that
37.
old, though. But damn.
It's just because he doesn't have the grays that Ovi has, but you know, Ovi's like 35.
Yeah. Wow. That's
I think.
crazy.
Let me double check that.
But yeah, that deal blew my mind. And,
sorry, my
and here
bad.
I'm thinking
Ovi's 40.
I was supposed to say 35.
Ovi's 40. Yeah.
But just seeing, Panarin go for that. And then obviously, to kind of bring it back to the Canucks, that's basically what the Canucks want for Kane. It's basically that's what their asking price is for Kane, is like a third and or a prospect. So it kind of like really made me think like Panarin went for what Kane might get. I mean, that could always change, but
There's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference because there's actually more than one team going after Kane. Whereas Panarin, there's only one team. So that is the main difference between the two. Obviously, would you rather have a Panarin or a Kane? It's
Panarin,
not even a question.
100%.
But the problem is there was only one team that he could be traded to. There was he had a full out no trade, no movement clause. Kane, I think he has like a 15 team, like half the league that he can be traded to. So yeah, that's the difference, right?
But I guess, we may as well get into the other big news that came out tonight. I know Clay was touching on it as well. Who knew that Gavin McKenna had I don't know what hand he is or what hand he used, but he seems to have a mean hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think McKenna is actually left. He's a left wing, I think left-handed. Yeah, and he also hit the guy with his left.
So he's a southpaw.
Yeah, he's a southpaw.
But yeah, that's crazy to see. Obviously when I first saw that, I was like, oh no, just our freaking luck. But then obviously, we've gotten some, I don't want to say details, but I guess we kind of have gotten more details. It's not 100% confirmed. It's unconfirmed, that, he was at a bar in Pennsylvania, something I know a little about, because of who I'm married to. And I've heard stories. And, just how he's, just having a good time with his teammates, having just played in an outdoor game, and then some goon decides to chirp, yep. And, from what they're saying is something to do with, I guess, McKenna's mom, was kind of harping on, talking smack about McKenna's mom, and pow, down goes this goon.
No, it wasn't exactly like that. From the different articles and stuff that I've read,
Mm.
the mom was actually there because McKenna is obviously underaged, and they had wristbands. So they had wristbands for these players that can't drink, and this is. Please go and fact check this because I'm not 100%. This is what I read only through an article. So he ripped off the band apparently, and he shouldn't have. And this kid, 21 years old, was obviously a bit intoxicated and was harping on his mom, called her a whore or something like that. Security was already notified and they were going to kick him out. And then he kept going at it, and McKenna's just like, fuck this, and gave him the
Boom.
nice hook. Yeah. So he actually stayed, he had his composure for a bit until it just went on too long, and he's just like, yeah, I need to shut up this guy, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And from what I've heard, he broke the guy's jaw.
3 places apparently, and a concussion.
Jeez.
I had a message, a screenshot of a message in one of my group chats. It was from a friend of the friend who got hit, or who took the guy to the hospital, and said that he had 3 fractures, a concussion, and didn't realize it was McKenna until afterwards. So that's why he was just like, yeah, I'm going to sue your ass. I'm going to sue your ass. Because he obviously pressed charges, and that's why there was this going, right? If the guy didn't press charges, none of this would have happened. I'm pretty sure that guy just exposure, looking for some niece, is something that we pay off pretty sure and clear out. Yeah, if there's if money can solve problems, they're not really problems, and this guy's just after his 15 minutes and some money. That's it. I'm sure he's gonna get interviewed later on when he recovers and all of that, and he's gonna claim all of that, and then that goes, and then he's not gonna want McKenna not to be able to be drafted, right? Because if McKenna doesn't become a star, he's not gonna get his 15 minutes. That's the way I see it. And if McKenna gets there, then he's like get these press ops and these opportunities to get interviewed by people and be like, oh, how did it feel when McKenna like punched your stupid ass? Like, what happened? You know? Or like, how much money did you get for settling this and that? Like, he's gonna get the whole, experience, like that press tour. And, call me out on it. I said it here on the line change.
Oh, yeah.
When it happens in a couple of months, come back and tell me.
Yeah, but still a crazy story. And I did, joke around with it a little bit, saying like, hey, this guy can scrap. Get him on this team. At least, he can maybe stand up for some teammates. And the guys can play and can score goals. He's a jack of all trades. So yeah, but still, for something like that to come down, kind of out of nowhere too. And I don't think it will affect his draft standing. At least until we maybe get more details or whatnot. But I was thinking, with him being underage, he's technically 18. And I was talking with a friend at work today, and he thinks he'll probably get maybe a slap on the wrist because of his age. Obviously things are different down in the US than they are up here. Obviously the legal drinking age is 21 down there. And here it's 19. So will they charge him as an adult? Not that he's, a minor, but he's still 18 years old. But I don't want to get too much into that part of it, but it's still just crazy that something like that comes out of the blue. And it's this close to a draft, and the fact that it was, Gavin himself. So
I mean, this isn't the first time. I think there was I can't remember who. I think it might even be Rain that was talking about it on the other stream, that there was someone 3 days before the draft that was charged with something, and he jumped from 21 to like top 10. So anything can happen, but at the same time, I think, yeah, that's really this whole thing is about money, to be very honest. And they're not going to screw a kid's future for sticking up for his mom. That would send the wrong message. But true, violence doesn't solve all problems. But the main thing is you shouldn't you shouldn't do this to a kid who has so much potential and who's going to be like a top 2 draft in the league, right? That's the main thing. One thing that I'm actually thinking about is, you think that it won't affect his draft. I kind of agree. But the only thing that I question is, mentally, will it affect him? Because I've been through stuff like this before in the past, and this is something that will overshadow him, and it will affect his confidence. It will, I don't know if it'll affect his game, but with that, he'll think, did I do something wrong? Like, was it like, he'll probably think I was stupid, I shouldn't have done that. And he's going to blame himself, and maybe that affects his on ice performance and all of that. But what, Rain here has said, also watch for the McKenna as a positive influence in the community, which is also true. And hopefully that, gets done sooner than later, and a settlement is done of some sort. But beware, like, will that mentally affect him on the ice is what I worry about.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there was a settlement reached, just to get this over and done with. I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. And Rain also has a really good point. If he does get convicted, that's 20 years in prison, just on like the felony charge itself, which is nuts.
Bro, that's just the max. That's the max. That's like saying, like, God, I was watching this movie recently. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's called Molly's Game. So it's about a Olympic skier who was pretty much top 3
I know that one.
In the world. Yeah. And then, got into some risky business, casino stuff, poker stuff, started hosting these special poker nights. And she had a maximum of something too. She ended up getting 200 hours of community service, and didn't get her money back, but was taxed more and had to pay like $2,000, something like that. When judges look at a person, especially a youth of this kind who has so much potential and is a top 2 player in the draft, they're not going to be going for the maximum. Like, there's no way in hell that would happen. And especially in the US justice, it's so dark in a way that, anything can be done. And whoever's his agent is going to take care of it. That's why he has an agent. Or else there's no point of getting an agent who doesn't fix your problems or solve your problems. So I think everything, like, it's fresh. Everyone's worried about it. It's obviously overblown, but to be very honest, I don't see anything spectacular happening. And he'll be at the draft. He'll get drafted, and things will go by. Like I said, only thing is, will that affect his on ice performance? That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Here, why don't we
And you
get
know
to
what?
the people? Because
Even if,
I
like
know
right here,
there's-
even if
oh,
this happens, that's fine. We have another Minnesota pick down there. We can pick them up down there.
mhm.
If no one takes a run at him, everything will be fine, guys.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. We're good. We're good. Sorry, I have one more comment that I really want to highlight before we go to the people. Is I
go
really
ahead.
appreciate Duolingo for gutting it out, sticking it out, because it's pretty much almost 2 in Arizona right now, and he said he didn't want to miss the show. So thank you for being here. I mean, everyone else that are here, we have 19 so far. And the last time I checked, we have 20. We actually have at one point we had more people on YouTube than X. So thank you guys for staying on after Clay's stream, because a lot of the names that I see were on Clay's stream and got my message in the comments. So shout out to Bobby. We got Rain. We got Harry. I remember was here at some point. Just Incredible,
Justin.
one of our good friends. Yeah. I haven't seen 89 Winterhawk, but he's made some good comments, which we'll get to in chat in a moment. And Jay Tolo60 is here too, and Simon. Simon, sorry about the whole misunderstandings today. We'll get to the bottom of it, but it was unfortunate something glitchy was happening and you were somehow timed out. And SGA, thanks for dropping by. But I'll give this back over to Tyler and we can continue with chat.
All right, yeah. Let me go back to the beginning, because when I first came on, I noticed there were 16 comments like right off the bat, and I was like, "Holy crap!" But before we get to the people, I don't know if you guys noticed, new intro, new music, and a little surprise at the end there. I'm not sure if you guys caught that, but yeah. You guys can probably rewatch this if you want to, and you guys can check it out. But
what?
Yeah,
That JT Miller's still in it?
Oh no, the little cameo by a certain Abby play-by-play announcer. Yeah.
That's really
at
cool.
the end there. Yeah. But yeah, no. Let's get to the people. I'll start from the beginning. Duo. Yeah, I know Duo and I were talking a little bit earlier today on Discord. By the way, if you guys have not joined our official Discord, there's a link to it in our YouTube description, so go ahead and check that out. Mentions might not make it. See, the show was scheduled for 1 a.m. Yeah, sorry about that, Duo. I ended up working a little later than I expected. As Gerald mentioned, Bobby's here. Gerald's here too. Gotta highlight. That one we already saw. Duo, that last show you guys did with SGA Sports Talk, this was amazing. Gonna try and do Rain's gonna try and do double duty here. And actually I saw here. I'll wait till we get to it, but sad I had to watch the video on demand. I had many questions from there. What up, Rain? As you mentioned,
you know what?
Jay's
Tyler
here.
didn't even get his question out. So, don't feel bad about it. Oh, sorry. What was it? It was April 11th, right? April 11th, we'll have SGA back on. Because we had this sort of handshake or this deal that he's gonna wear his Sharks jersey and come on to the stream with his camera on for the very first time. Because every time that he's been on Clay's open mic, and even on ours here, It's always just, that logo speaking. So if you want to see SGA, make sure you come by April 11th. I believe it is the post game for the Sharks and Canucks game that is at SAP. Final game for the Sharks and Canucks in San Jose this year. So make sure to catch that one. Sorry, Tyler, didn't mean to interrupt you, but
Yeah, I know. No, all good. All good. All right. Rain's trying to stay awake as well, much like Duo. And yeah, I wanted to mention this. I got the notification for that, and I was like, dang. I've lost count how many times I've gotten a gifted membership through Russell's live stream. It's kind of crazy. But and I think my most recent one just expired like a mere few days ago. So the fact that I got another one already is pretty cool. But, I did see that while I was at work, and I'll admit I did a little woohoo when I saw it. So
I didn't even
I'm not
realize
sure.
that. But thank you, Bobby, for telling us.
Yeah, Harry's here. Good to see you, Harry. I'm a struggle tomorrow morning, but need to catch the last show before the Olympic break. You doing any Team Canada live or post games? Yeah, I'm gonna do some Olympics content. I mean, 3 weeks no Canucks content. That's gonna be a little difficult, with that. But so yeah, I'm definitely gonna try and do some Olympic content for sure, especially pertaining to Canada. I'm also going to try and get some guests on during the Olympic break because I figured that's probably a good time to do that as well. So you didn't miss much referring to the game. Duo, everyone joined the Discord server too for Canucks discussion. Thank you, Duo. Yeah, I know Duo absolutely loves the Discord chat. And thank you for helping me out with that too to get it set up as well. Appreciate that. It's only upping the trade value for Bluger if management actually pulls the trigger and makes the trade. I do think they're going to trade Bluger. And I'm actually really happy that he's putting up these points and he's upping his trade value. There you go. Find it. Mega concerning. We have one of the highest paid goalie tandems in the NHL, even more than how bad our players are. Yeah. What was it? 13 million between just Langinen and Demko. Justin in the house. What's up, Justin? This is a good point by Rain. No one expected the 23-24 season to happen the way it did either, and that's become an anomaly at this point. Yeah. That was when you were talking about anomalies earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently the Leafs got first overall in 2016 after finishing last. Of course it was the Leafs. They're the Leafs.
Matthews.
Yeah. So
That was after Edmonton. That was when Edmonton had pretty much 3 first-round picks within 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was it? Yakupov, Nuge, McDavid. Because McDavid was 2015, I remember, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then 2016 was Austin Matthews. So it was before that. They had 3.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Canucks having even one in their, 46 years of history, or sorry.
50 plus.
50, yeah.
Is it 52? Because I know we had our 50-year anniversary season, 2 seasons ago?
No, so the Canucks are the cousins of I want to say Sabres, because I think it's the Sabres. 1970.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Canucks had their worst season, their last place finishing team their second season. I think it was a 71-72 season. And that was the last time they were last in the league.
Mhm.
Oh, bro, I know who Winterhawk is. So Winterhawk is my guy that I met at the Leafs game. Oh my God. Okay, wait. Let me see if it's him. But you continue first. Just want to double check.
Duolingo, we need to trade the vets or we will forever have a bad culture where people can't win. Yeah, I wasn't surprised that there was no Canuck trades prior to the roster freeze. I expect more things to be going down at the deadline. EP40 invisible again. What's new? Yeah, I mean, did he fall on his ass again? Is that? I mean, that's not new, but I'm curious. Yeah, we mentioned this one. Panarin scored 57 points on a bad Rangers team this season and re-signed for less than what PD is being paid. Yeah. New York Islanders were 5 spots up from the bottom.
Excuse me.
That's referring to the draft. Gerald, yeah, you mentioned this one already. Did you like the game tonight, and who was all injured for the Canucks? Well, I can't really comment on whether or not I liked it because I didn't watch it. But as far as injuries, obviously we know Heedle's out with migraines. Even though Foote said I hope it's not a head injury, and we hear it's migraine, so hopefully it's nothing too serious. Obviously Demko's out with an injury. Hoaglander, Rossi's still out. All those guys aren't expected back, obviously, until after the Olympics. So yeah, those are the injuries. I believe I covered them all, if I'm not mistaken. As a Quinn Hughes fan, I'm happy to see him thriving. I also like to think of myself as a realist who has opinions. Yeah, I echo the same thing. I'm happy that he's happy and that he's thriving. I mean, it's like what we mentioned earlier. You know, he's already the best defenseman in Minnesota Wild franchise history, and he's been there for 2 months. And it took him how many years to get to that level with us? Like, took him years. But yeah, no, that's great. And it's like what you said, you know, he's surrounded by a lot of good players. And he's, you know, on a really good team. And I actually would not be surprised if Minnesota goes deep in the playoffs, but just the way that they've been playing. So kind of makes me kind of want to root for the Wild. LA made the massive swing they needed to make in order to give Kopitar one last run before his retirement. I do think that may have been part of the reason. Like, I don't know the exact reason why Panarin was so, you know, dead set on LA. But it probably may have had something to do with maybe Kopitar, you know, playing with Kopitar before he retires. So, and I imagine it'll likely be like what, Kempe, Kopitar, and Panarin as a line, I'm assuming. I'm not too familiar with the Kings' lines, but already I think that would be a killer line, just those three. NHL should do what the PWHL does. Like I'm not sure, like what? Like, not sure what that's referring to, but
I think he's talking about the trades.
Oh, the trades. Oh. 26
but we can
games
ask Johnny about that next time.
26 games played for both teams, 23 points in Van, 31 points in Minnesota. So yeah, Quinn Hughes has already surpassed the amount of points he had playing with us, which is crazy.
Yeah, he also has Kaprizov. Bro,
Yeah,
he had
that
like
too.
Kaprizov had the game winner yesterday, or the day, like the last game. Kaprizov had 2 goals, and both were assisted, primary assist by Quinn Hughes. Like, it's just, dude, how do you not get assists if you have Kaprizov? Like, if you're playing
Yeah.
with PD and PD was Kaprizov, yeah, those are the days.
Mm-hmm. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday morning, including the 2 hosts. Thank you, Simon. Appreciate it. What's up, SGA? Are you doing open mic? As I mentioned, not tonight. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pretty exhausted from work today. So yeah, not tonight. We'll try and do like an hour and a half, 2 hours for this one, just because I'm, like I said, extremely tired. It's also, since it's technically 1 a.m., it's my wife and I's anniversary today, so I need to get my beauty sleep for that.
No, we got to cut it off early today. I mean, it's already 1 hour. I think we're going to go for another maybe 15, 20 minutes at most. And
all right, yeah, that works as well.
And then we'll come back, maybe do something during the Olympics. But yeah, just make sure you are subscribed and you have the notification bell on. Just in case, we somehow come on, then when we're on. We'll pick times around this. So hopefully it works out for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's speed through this, Tyler.
Yeah, thoughts on the Canucks' 5-2 loss against Vegas and have dropped 3 games in a row, and Sharks have lost 4 in a row. Honestly, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't expecting a win against Vegas. It being, Vegas. And dropping 3 games in a row, again, not surprised. I did see a little bit of fight from, just going through like social media, and again, I didn't actually watch any highlights, but just also got to shout out Justin too. His commentary in our group chat kept me, kind of in the loop. Seeing that they tried to kind of mount a comeback, and then the wheels kind of fell off. So
it was too hard at 3-1. I mean, if the third goal didn't go in, there's also one called back. It's when they got to 3-2, like 3-2, I didn't even go through my notes, but I'll tell you this: at the end of the second period, P.O. Joseph was coming in, and he faked a shot, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You have like, I don't know, less than 30 seconds left. Shoot the goddamn puck. So he faked it and then shot it and got in, and I just had to shut up because I was just like, what the hell are you doing? And then he scores.
Yeah.
So yeah, at least he got a goal, first goal for the Canucks. I'll give that to him.
First of the season, first as a Canuck. Do you boys plan to watch any other sports besides hockey for Winter Olympics? I probably won't. I kind of stick with hockey just because, that's my bread and butter. But who knows? Maybe I'll tune in to some other sports. We'll see. But I will probably be primarily focused on hockey just because, the channel and the content I'm going to do. So I don't know about Gerald, if you're going to watch some other stuff other than hockey during the Olympics.
I think whatever's on TV, like when I have the TV on and whatever's on, I'll probably watch it. But mainly most, if not all, the hockey games, not just the Canadian games, but even the US games. I really want to keep tabs on, how the US are doing, especially, the team that Billy G picked, and leaving out Robertson was kind of a slap. Leaving out Caulfield was also another slap, and I really want to see how this team does. Want to see how JT Miller plays. But aside from hockey, I think just pretty much whatever Canadians fare well at. I think I'm gonna try to catch some curling, and maybe some snowboarding, and I think that's about it. But yeah, I'll have to do some homework for the Olympics. I mean, it's 2 weeks. There's no Canucks, which is great. I think I really need a break, even though I've only been back for God, it's only been a week, but it feels like it's been like forever. Just watching the Canucks seem, I'm sorry to say this, but it's been very draining. Just to keep up with the Canucks, watching the games, and
Yeah.
not seeing them win. I mean, the Toronto game I really enjoyed because I was actually there. Sharks game I was there. It was nice, but after that, just didn't see the effort and didn't see the fight. So it's been tough following that. So these next 2 weeks are going to be great, just to chill a little bit and not think about the Canucks. But yeah, those are some of the events that I'll probably be watching.
You better be prepared for me if we ever discuss JT Miller. Oh boy. I got my notes ready, and I never have notes when I do commentary. Oh boy.
Can't wait.
I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah, I can't wait.
Rain is itching, man. Rain is itching. I was chatting with Rain last week, and he really wants to do something with us during the draft, and I would be it would be an honor to do something with Rain. Just the amount of knowledge that he has in terms of the players that he keeps tabs on, and the breakdowns and stuff. Tyler and I and also Whit have also been talking about doing a deadline show. So it would be trade deadline, right? And it'd probably be like an uncensored line change plus my new channel that I'm going to tell everyone about. We're planning for March 5th that we're going to do the first show. And it's just actually going to be like the pre-trade deadline, the eve of trade deadline. So whatever trades that trickle down before the actual trade deadline I'll be breaking down with a co-host, which I will be telling you guys about soon. Also looking for names. If you guys have any sort of recommendations, let me know. I'm thinking on the lines of therapy, which is what we basically do for you guys at these post games anyways. But I want something to do with therapy because like I said, I'm a huge mental health advocate, and I want to kind of link something with that. And it's not specific on Canucks. It could be just hockey in general and therapy for you guys. So we're at the JT. What's next?
Let me. Taylor.
Here, I'll put it back up. I thought you wanted to do something else.
Yeah. No, I can wait on that. Taylor Hall, 2010, Nuge, 2011, Yakubov, 2012, and 2015 Sabres should be an indication of what happens when you try to tank.
Yeah. So actually, that segues into
completely forgot about.
Sorry, go ahead. Forgot about.
I completely forgot that Besser's injured too.
Yeah.
So there's one more.
This I kind of want to
injured Canuck.
6 total. Yeah. For this, I actually hopefully it doesn't lag too much, but I just wanted to show something quickly in regards to this. Let's see here. Okay, so this right here is the draft changes that have happened. So back in 95, that's when the lottery was introduced, and it allowed non-playoffs teams to participate and move up in the draft. So prior to that, pretty much all teams that were in the league were able to. Well, it's just an order depending on where you finish, right? Then the 2013, 2015, there was no limit on moving up in the draft, which is why now it is maxed out at 10, because there were teams that somehow ended up getting the first, even though, they were a playoff team. I don't know what happened, but as I guess Rain was just saying, Sabres tried to tank and, Oilers ended up getting the first. Then in 2015, I think because of that, there were 3 lottery winners receiving top 3 picks, and then the remaining teams moving down no more than 3 spots, which hypothetically would have been great. But now the new system is no more than 2. So in 2011, it was only the first 2 overall picks as opposed to the first 3, which kind of works in favor of this year because there's McKenna and Verhoff. Yeah, so those are sort of the rule changes that I wanted to talk about and what it's evolved into nowadays. And even with that said, I think someone in the chat was saying that the Islanders were what, 5 spots out of the playoffs and then ended up getting first overall. That's 10 spots. So they were at 15. Actually, no, they were at 15 and then jumped up 10. Is that right? No. Sorry, they would have been 10th. They were in 10th spot and jumped up 10. So I don't know how many points they were out by. I think apparently 5 points out of the playoff spots and still got first overall. So like I said, because of that, I just feel like the Canucks should just play it out. And if your luck comes, if luck is knocking at your door, then it'll come. Even if you tank and finish last, you might not get the first. If you're meant to get the first, you're meant to get the first. So it doesn't matter if you tank or not, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, let's continue. This was the last one you were talking about.
Yeah, I forgot that.
And then this one is just basically what I would copy and paste.
Yeah, I actually did not know that.
Do you remember what you were talking? You were wanting to talk about?
Yeah, I'll get to that in a quick sec. I just want to highlight some of these comments, these particular comments. Jailbreak, score on a PK, then the player's penalty ends. Was that from? No, that wasn't from tonight because there was no Parkley goals. I wonder if that was from the game the other night.
I think that was last night. Yeah, the other night.
Happy anniversary to Tyler and your wife. Thank you very much, Bobby. Happy anniversary to you and your wife. Happy life. Yeah, absolutely. I know that firsthand. And just so you guys know, it's 11 years for my wife and I, at least being together. Our wedding anniversary isn't until May. This is technically our dating anniversary when we started dating. And yeah, she's put up with me for 11 years. So, and I'm still here. So I must be doing something right. But I'll get into and she's probably going to watch this on replay later on. And who knows, maybe that'll change.
Really?
No.
I never heard Sam watching your shows.
Oh, she's been in the chat at least once or twice, but it's not often.
I've only seen her once. I've seen her once, and then she came into the room, and I told her to come in and say hi to me. But apparently, Sam hates me. But I think all that changed when the Flyers came into town and got her tickets for that game. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I made sure Sam's to tell her like you got one person to thank for that game. But yeah, let me do my sponsor read because we're an hour and almost 15 in, and we wanted to cut it short tonight. So let me do my sponsor read, and then I want to show you guys something. Yeah.
Ty, should we even just do a sponsor read? Let's just leave it to the end sponsor read. Does that work, or do you have to do a mid? Because we're already at 1:15.
I can do it.
So
I can do it at the end. Yeah. I can do it at the
Yeah,
end.
and then just jump into what you want to talk about, and then we'll let them go. Because I think we've gone through all the comments, and I
Yeah,
think
I'm at the bottom.
right now what we're at, yeah, the numbers are dropping a little bit. So let's just finish off and then do the read.
All right. Well, this is what I wanted to show you guys. I mentioned it earlier, but for anyone who may not have seen it, I'm going to just quickly show this real quick. And don't worry, it's only 8 seconds. So let's see if this works without any lagging.
Hey, Canucks Nation. Brandon Ousley here, play-by-play for the Abbey Canucks. And you got it locked on the line change, a Vancouver Canucks podcast.
So yeah, that's what I was referring to earlier. That's in the intro towards the end. I was able to get my buddy Brandon to do that for us. So I was pretty stoked on that. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys that just so you could see it in full, you know, maybe without the music and whatnot. But yeah, I guess that is all.
Yeah, I missed that. I missed that because so I'm still getting used to StreamYard, and I went into your other studio,
Oh,
and I just sat
studio,
there. I'm
yeah.
thinking, where is Tyler? And this was specifically dedicated for this show. So I was like, damn, okay. And then when I saw you on the TV, the show was starting. I was like, what's going on? And then I finally jumped over, went out, and I was like, oh, it's this one. So I'm still working the kinks out on StreamYard. Just yeah. So I missed that part. That's why I didn't know. Yeah. But I mean, Tyler sent me the video earlier today, and it was it's pretty hype. So
yeah, I had this one in opposite because I remember I technically scheduled it like 3 days ago. So that's why. And if I schedule something, and if I say I want to do like a pre-recorded video, I can't do that if I have something already scheduled in my actual studio. So that's why I had that separate, just so I could have that and still do my, video updates and whatnot. But yeah. So I guess we'll end it there. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about the new intro. I was up actually pretty late last night working on that. So I might still tinker with it a little more, but I was happy with the turnout. And I'll actually mention on the stream too. I actually originally I was gonna have video where you hear that audio of like the clips. I was originally gonna have video, but it was so laggy. It wasn't really working out. So that's why I went with just the audio. And yes, I know JT Miller's in there, but that was one of the clips that I had from, what was it? Game 5 against Nashville? Or no, that was a game against the Oilers in the playoffs a couple of years ago. That because you hear Lindholm's name if you really listen. And yeah, you hear Quinn Hughes in it as well. So, but there is a Demko part to it that kind of got cut out because of the Brandon Astle part. But I'm like I said, I'm still gonna keep playing around with it and see if I can, edit and adjust it. But yeah, that's our new intro going forward. And I gotta admit, I really love the song. I actually downloaded the song and so I can listen to it on my phone. And it's got some pretty good beats to it. So but yeah. That'll be all. At least from me.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now Swerve and Irvin jumps on just when we're about to sign out. Anyways,
it's he knew.
We're not going any longer. We're not going any longer today. We're not. We're sticking by the schedule, and it's something that I feel like. So Tyler and I actually have talked a little bit about it. We definitely appreciate everyone that comes and joins the show, joins the chat, but we have to have a bit of structure. and we have to make sure that it's within that time frame. If not, it's just trying to push for hours for views for Tyler, but at the same time, we gotta also let viewers know that a time is a time, and that's how we're gonna stick to it. It's at 120. At most, we're gonna do 130, which is what Tyler also said. Well, he went almost to like 2 hours. He was saying an hour and a half to 2, but no, we're going to be firm on this from this point going on. Because I mean, from our OG daddy, Godfather Clay, he says 1 hour, it's an hour. Yeah, Clay Father, it's gonna be an hour 15 at most. So we're gonna abide by the YouTube Canucks YouTube rules, and we're gonna stick by that. So thank you for everyone that's shown. Even Shannon, thank you for dropping by near the end of the show.
Yeah.
And,
I just want to highlight that, Shannon. I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, we hope you're doing well. We heard from Coach Rob that you're back home, and hope everything's doing well. We did give you a shout out on our last show when we heard that you weren't doing so well and you went to the hospital. So hope you're doing well now. And we're just about to sign off. Anything else we want to cover before we go, Tyler?
Yeah, that's not happening.
No,
that's Clay's thing.
No,
I'm not impeding on that. That's Clay's shtick.
No.
Although I have joked about it before with Clay, but yeah, there's no way. But yeah, I guess I do kind of once. I do like I mentioned a little bit earlier. I do have some guests hopefully lined up for next week. One in particular who I was talking to today, which is Beggsy, Trevor Beggs from Locked On Canucks. Hopefully sometime next week, I'm going to get him on and we're just going to chat Canucks, maybe Olympic stuff. Who knows? But that is in the works. We're going to have Trevor Beggs on again. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, I guess I'll highlight this. Apparently SGA will be rocking a new haircut when he comes on April 11th. So you heard it here first on the line change. SGA is going to be rocking a new haircut, so we better see a new haircut along with that Sharks jersey. And who knows, maybe I'll have a new haircut around that time too, because I am due for one.
No, it's funny because even if SGA didn't have a haircut, we wouldn't know because we've never seen SGA before. I mean, I've looked at some of his videos, so I kind of know, but I don't know what he looks like now. So, but it's pretty funny. We'll trust you on that, SGA.
Yeah.
Or Shardle. Shardle. Yeah, I hope Swervin Irvin puts it.
Maybe I'll go with a pink mullet.
Maybe I'll find like a clown wig, or maybe go on Temu and find one of those douchebag hairs, like those hats with the fake hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have a few more minutes. Are you? Let's make some predictions since the Olympics are just around the corner. The prelims are actually already happening. Predictions on what team? Do you think Canada is going to take it? Who do you have in the finals? Who do you have winning 1, 2, and 3? How's that? We'll end off on that.
All right. One, obviously I gotta rep Canada. I bleed red and white. I think I'm gonna go Canada 1, US 2, because I would like to see Canada US in the finals. A rematch from last year's Four Nations. Especially with Quinn Hughes actually being on Team USA in here. I'll also probably be watching Team USA's games just because of Quinn. So 1 Canada, 2 US, and I think number 3 I'm gonna go with Sweden.
I was actually thinking the same thing, but it seems so generic because I mean, like Sweden's been a powerhouse, and you had them at Four Nations. You had Sweden was doing great at Four Nations, but there's only two teams, so it was Canada and US, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling there's going to be like a dark horse coming out. Like I feel like I don't know. I
Yeah,
have this really odd
maybe
feeling
Czechia.
that Canada and US might not, like one of them might not make the finals. And I feel like Latvia is going to be a sleeper. And I think Bluger is going to light it up. And yeah, I mean
And
Latvia
up
actually
that
has
trade value.
and I think Latvia has I don't know,
They got Artie
even
Party.
during the juniors. Yeah, exactly. Artie Party and Bluger, man, the reunion. And I want them to do well. And then you got Draisaitl trying to lead a young, Stutzel and what is it, Schneider and all that. Like the teams are actually pretty stacked. Well, not as stacked as Canada and US, but you have these good players from the NHL that are there. So it is going to be tough, but Irvin is actually right. Let's not kill it. Like these are our pre-Olympic sort of picks. So Tyler has Canada, US, and Sweden. I'll have Canada, Sweden, US. How's that? just to
Okay. Just to be
make
different.
it a little interesting, just to be a little different. But don't count out Czechia and don't count out Latvia. I think yeah, they can be some sleepers. So that about does it for us. 127. This is a good time, and once we do your sponsor ending reads, I think we're right at 130 and just on path. So I don't have any last words. Actually, my last words are we'll see you soon for some of the Olympics. Thank you for showing up, all of you. Really hope people on X actually leave comments though. That way, we can sort of be more interactive with you. So hopefully that happens more on the upcoming streams. But thank you for having us. Thank you, Tyler, for letting me sort of co-host and regularly contribute to this and giving me some of the power right now. But thank you for having me. I love this. And thank you everyone else for being here.
Yeah, I'm also praying for this too, Urban. Just so you know, I hope Bluger doesn't get injured either, because yeah, that's just what we need. So SGA, yeah, I'll quickly read. So SGA has USA at 1, Canada at 2, Sweden at 3, Switzerland at 4, and Slovakia at 5.
Yeah.
And of course, the 4 San Jose Sharks selected for the Olympics are Celebrini, Khrushchev, Regina, and Wenberg. Go Celebrini. I do like this from Urban. This will be the last one that I highlight. Bold projection. Yeah, I do think he's going to have a real big moment for Team Canada for sure. So yeah, let me do my sponsor read, and then we'll sign off if I can find it. There it is. Super Bowl 60 deserves a sportsbook that's built for the moment. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 60, puts you right in the center of the biggest game of the year. Anything can happen during the Super Bowl, and DraftKings has your back with early exit. If your player goes down in the first half, you still get paid in cash when your bet settles. No bonus bets, no waiting. While other sportsbooks don't offer injury protection, DraftKings covers the entire first half, even the second quarter. And early exit works on live bets too, pregame or in-game. DraftKings has you covered. Super Bowl 60, a rematch from Super Bowl 49 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Seahawks pass rush versus the Patriots offensive line. Seattle's front, Leonard Williams, DeMarcus Lawrence, Boy May look to pressure Pats QB Drake May, challenging a potentially weaker Patriots O-line. Are you new to DraftKings? New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. For Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass through may apply in Illinois. 21 plus in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets, which will expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. This is a limited time offer. Sponsor none other than Gassy Jack Art, maker of this amazing artwork you can see right here in front of you, and you guys can check them out at GassyJackArt.com. There we go. All right, and once again, this video has been, or this post-game show has been a presentation of DraftKings Sportsbook, as well as a a presentation of the Hockey Podcast Network. Once again, check out the Hockey Podcast Network for your favorite podcast covering your favorite team at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com. This right here, just so you guys can see. And yeah, that's going to do it for us. I'm going to hit my long-winded outro thing. So if you guys like this post-game show, obviously we will not see you guys at least with one of these post-game shows for about 3 weeks or so. Don't worry, those 3 weeks are going to fly by. And we'll be back before you know it, at least when it comes to Canucks content. But if you did like this post-game show, be sure to hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all your Vancouver Canucks content, as well as Olympic content coming up, be sure to smash that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss a single video. Just a reminder, as well as a thank you to those that have purchased Line Change merchandise. And if you haven't yet, be sure to definitely do so. As I've mentioned before, our 1-year anniversary collection is available on our merchandise store. So go ahead and check that out, the Line Change podcast.threadless.com. As I mentioned earlier, we have our official Discord. There's a link to it in the description down below. It's completely free to join. So go ahead and join it so you can be part of the discussion and have some really good conversations with other community members as well. You can find us on social media. We're everywhere, like literally everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, even Blue Sky. Feel free to give us a follow on all of our social media platforms. Speaking of platforms, if you prefer a audio version of this podcast, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. On Spotify, feel free to give us a follow, as well as rate and review us on either platform. Also, if you had an episode that you just couldn't get enough of and wanted to watch over and over again, you can download your favorite episode as well. That really helps out the podcast as well. Of course, we are greatly appreciative of that as well. So that's going to do it for Gerald and I. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Again, a little bit of a shorter post game this time around. And of course, they're going to be around this mark going forward. So once again, we'll see you guys in a few weeks when it comes to a Canucks post game show. We'll see you guys for some Olympic content. I will keep you guys up to date on that. Just look for the community tab. I'll be posting in there if we have any videos coming up, just so you guys are aware of it and ready for it. And hey, go Canada, go. And I'll end it on that.
Yes, go Canada, go. Go Canada, go. Let's go.
Throw a W.
Thanks again.
W's up.
W's up. Okay.
Peace, guys.
We'll see you guys really soon. Canucks in a couple weeks and Olympics hopefully next week. So stay tuned. Ring that notification bell and you'll see us at that point. So good night. Be safe. And thanks for coming by. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. We'll catch you guys on the next line change.